Hello and welcome back to the Metaverse. Isn't it insane that For Honor has been out for 5 years already? It feels like just yesterday I was loading this game up, but couldn't get on the game because they let a fucking random make the servers. Here we are 5 years later, still unable to stay in games, while the fuckers playing from the Earth's core get to stay in the game somehow. As much as I joke and shit on the game, I will commend them on the fact they stuck with it. Through all the ups and downs they've worked on this shit. I mean, come on, this game is practically unrecognizable from before. The old For Honor was very slow, clunky, and most of the cast was more or less garbage or viable strictly because they could do bullshit that the game wasn't supposed to let happen. Compared to now, where the game is now a much faster, janky animation-filled game, where characters are more or less viable strictly because they can do bullshit that the game isn't supposed to let happen. You know, now that I think about it, not much has actually changed, has it? Jokes aside, For Honor is something I think we should all appreciate for what it is. Though it doesn't do anything particularly well. It manages to be the only of its kind, which is either a testament to how unique the fundamental mechanics of For Honor are, or it's the fact other game developers have seen how much of a shit show For Honor's mechanics are and don't want to touch this shit with a 15-foot pole. It's all a matter of perspective. With today's video, I want to take some time out to take a look back and talk about some of the best seasons For Honor has ever given us. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe and turn post notifications on. We are super close to 10k. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for helping make my dreams come true. And with that out of the way, let's get started.
More than flesh and bones. You no longer need to suffer. I offer you peace and salvation.
Now I know what you all are thinking. Meta, what in the Kentucky Fried Fuck are you smoking? This season was one of the absolute worst ones we've ever received. With Raiders concussion grenades, and Lawbrena's swole ass pecs powering through everything, it made playing the game near impossible. And to that I'd say, you're right. But, here's my philosophy, okay? Balance is boring. You need that OP shit to keep shit spicy. Take Mortal Kombat 11. Every character is usable and 100% viable at high level. Some more than others, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. And look at that game. It's fucking dead because everything is so balanced it's stale as all fuck. You need that unbalanced shit to keep the game from becoming one note. Like Alien Begin, able to take you to Ram Ranch in the corner. And whatever the fuck Tanya was on. To that end, Lawbrena and Raider were that fucking Carolina Reaper added into the chili. They were a duo that could rival Shinobi and Centurion for the crown of most bullshit duo. But in terms of overall fun, if you were a Lawbrena or Raider main like I was at the time, you were having a blast. Raider was my first ever main. I used him before his knee even did any damage. So you know I've been rocking with this Giga Chad for years. To be able to give someone brain damage to the point they can't pick up their controllers anymore is something that can't be replicated anywhere else, and for that, I love this season. Ah yes, the FICA Shaman, they should have been aborted by their family season. This is one of my favorite seasons for one reason only. OG Shaman, one of the only characters I know lifed to rep 10 in like 2 weeks. I've only ever done that with one other person, that person being Sent. I didn't use Shaman for all her busted qualities like 50 damage neck bites whenever I wanted, though those definitely did help make the decision to main her easier. No, I used her strictly for the same reason I use the new reworked Orochi and newly reworked Hanhu. At the time of her release, there weren't many people who could move like her. I make the joke that everyone now is flying around at maximum speed so your brain doesn't have time to process what the fuck is going on. In season 4 she was that A10 warthog coming to wreck your shit. Oh yeah, Iramasha was there as well. one of the most aesthetically pleasing seasons we've ever gotten. I'd have to say my biggest reasoning would have to be the 5 reworks we got. This was around the time of For Honor's Operation Health cycle, where they basically said fuck making new characters, we're going to go back and give the older characters the love they truly deserved. Giving us 3 in-depth reworks and 2 facelifts. Nobushi and Highlander both got some kisses on their boo-boos from Ubisoft. Highlander could finally cancel his Celtic curse into offensive stance instead of being forced to let that weak ass shit go through. And then there were the 3 reworks, most of which live on to this very day. Konk's rework was much needed considering this dude was trash and kind of fucked on. I mean, I'd love to ask the person in the studios who thought letting Konk get a free guard break on heavies that hit his shield was a perfectly healthy thing to add to the game. Zucker basically turned into a feint master, and the double damage attack was turned unblockable, mostly the same as he is now, and arguably the best rework Ubisoft gave us literally ever. Kensei was widely regarded as one of the worst characters in For Honor. You can go back into story mode and see how absolutely putrid this character was for a time. For the life of me I can't see the point of his zone. But with this rework everything just became god status. The only time For Honor ever had anything worth tuning in for. Easily the best thing For Honor has done on the big stage, unveiling 4 new Chinese heroes. To this day the best trailer we've ever received from For Honor. Seeing female warden get her soul snatched by Shyandi did some things to me that I can't say on this channel. And my god, that song they used, still a fucking banger to this day. The heroes they released were, to put it mildly, interesting. You had Shyandi, who basically was untouchable by most standards of 2019 For Honor. Shaolin, who was terrifying because of the sheer fluidity of his moveset, so everyone was just panicking when facing them. Also Ubisoft, what the fuck happened to that one move Shaolin had? Can you guys bring that back in his rework? And Zhang Jun, who was easily the worst to deal with of the 4. His damage was without a doubt a problem. Dude was popping off something like 25 damage lights. You were basically dead in 4 hits on lights alone. But what about Nuxia, you ask? I mean, yeah, she was there, but like who the hell gave a fuck? Anyway, moving on. These 4 were actually fun to use, and the arcade was pure and utter fucking torture. Only the OGs remember the original arcade before its fix. A standard quest was harder than the teal version we have today. They may have genuinely put level 4 bots into the game and not tell anybody, parrying every attack. They hit for so much damage, and they have the most cursed modifiers imaginable. Try killing the bot when every attack is unblockable. It has passive super armor, and your UI is missing. If you can beat an arcade quest, you deserve a free ticket to Hawaii. Easily my favorite season without a doubt, giving us 2 characters that we all asked for. Both are easily the most busted duo of characters we've ever received, but they were super fun to play as. So fun that you didn't care about the 4 Centurions slam dunking your bitch ass like a basketball. Or the shinobis teleporting behind you like we're in an anime, for me at least. That is what screams the good old days of For Honor. Busted mechanics, terrible servers, and what the fuck moments at every turn. But above all, it was fun. Doing the gladiator execution on your opponents always made me feel like I just shit on someone, no matter if the fight was close or not. And Shinobi's executions were all very solid, until Ubi just started putting 0 effort into the later ones. You could say this one was personal bias, considering it gave me my beautifully sexy Roman boy, who is without a doubt packing a 11-incher under that armor, who became my main day 1 all the way until now. And for the most part you're right, but this was also around the time that the funniest tournament in history happened. Considering I covered this already, I'll speed by this briefly. I will never not laugh at this. The ultimate comedy of what happens when you release a tournament way too early. I'm sure you all were aware that unlock was around and that you'd see it in the tournament. So why in the blue chew fuck would you do this big tournament that showed off how buggy and unfinished your game was? That's just a 3 IQ moment. With every new season they release, the more I realize how different the game has become. For better or for worse. But at present I think the last 2 seasons have been genuinely good seasons. Warmongers, Griffins and Kaioshin's seasons all has some flair to them but were mostly mid in my eyes. The Frozen Shore season is easily one of my favorites, releasing one of my favorite characters in a long time. Most people know I'm not the biggest fan of the last 3 characters. Warmonger is just Warden but worse, Griffin is one note, and Kaioshin puts me into a coma every time I play him. But with all this being said, as much shit as I give it, through all its ups and downs, I have to say that I'm still excited to see what For Honor has coming up with the future seasons. I truly believe they have what it takes to make memorable and cherished seasons that you can look back fondly on and say, "God damn, I miss those days."